Welcome back. All right, so we talked about our footwork and the foundation, the importance of a good on guard stance. Fencing does rely very much on your footwork, so it's hard to overemphasize that. And it is something that you could practice and should practice at home. Get in an on guard stance, make it feel natural, move back and forth with light movements. All right, but fencing also involves blade work. And so footwork, let's talk about blade work a little. When you're in the on guard stance, right, and you're holding a weapon, you want to have that tip about at your eye height. Again, elbows in, but it's not touching. And this is, when you're in this position, which we call position 6, you're closing the high outside line. So from a weapon side, outward, around my back, that's the outside. From the weapon towards the off side, that is the inside. And so, outside, inside. So I'm closing the outside, you can't hit me here, but this is all open. So somebody goes to attack me here, typically I'm going to want to parry. And a parry is a defensive move to take my opponent's point offline, right? So this is position 6, the on guard, parry 4. This is circle 4, counter parry. These are lateral parries from 6 to 4. There's a circle 6, again, counter 6. All right, this is the high outside line. Why high? When the point is above the guard, that's the high line. Now I'm in the low line. Now I'm in the high line. All right, so let's take a look at the actual weapon itself. Foil was developed hundreds of years ago to teach sword fighting at a time when there was a dilemma. How does a sword master teach someone to fight with a sword without being imperiled of having their own eye put out or their student's eye or some terrible damage? They did not have the good safety gear we have now. So they developed the concept of the foil, and the foil is really a weapon, but it's a system that's all built around the same premise, having conventions to help teach swordsmanship. All right, so the foil is a very flexible weapon. It has a blunted tip. It has a set of conventions. It has, by the way, this blade, and you'll notice the blade, by the way, tapers off, and we'll talk about that. This part of the blade is known as the fort. This is known as the foible. The fort is the strong part of the blade. The foible is the weak part of the blade. You use the fort against someone's foible when you parry, and we'll get into all that when we start showing some blade work. And you'll see how you use the point to attack and get your touch, and you do use the foible for things like beats and such. All right. But this blade was also developed to bend in a predictable pattern. And that's very important as we see moving forward in the art of the foil. All right, and the safety factor. So, but the real thing that made foil a safe way to convey knowledge in fencing is this notion of convention. So there's a convention. For one thing, there's a limited target area. Basically the chest, the side, the back. If you had a fencing jacket on, every part of the jacket, with the exception of the sleeves and the lower part of the bib on a mask, that's the target area. Everything else is off target. All right, so there's that. The other convention that is simple initially, but it does get involved, is the concept of the right-of-way. So the right-of-way, in the simplest terms, is if I'm attacking you, I have the right-of-way if I start the attack, and I keep the attack. So the first one to attack has the right-of-way. How does the opponent get the right-of-way? If they parry that attack with that defensive move, they have an effective parry, they now have a chance to take the right-of-way, and now they're on the attack, and so it goes. So really fencing, foil fencing is like it's a dance, it's an exchange back and forth. Who has the right-of-way? One thing that is easy to kind of mess up in the beginning is you have the right-of-way, and then you pull your arm back where you gave up the right-of-way. So it gets involved, and also now in this day and age where there's a lot of fencing with absence of blade and such. It's becoming ever more complicated to determine really who has a good right-of-way, but it starts with getting that foundation down. The person who's attacking has it until their attack fails or they're parried, and then the person who parries, the last person to parry, has the right-of-way. All right, so let's look at a drill we could do with this blade. So if you have the situation at home, and I would advise, I would urge that you check first with whoever it is, whose wall it is, but you could face a wall, extend out, make a touch, and find the distance where you could make a touch just by extending out, right? Just by extending your arm. So you're not rocking, you're not leaning, just by extending out. So extend, touch, extend, touch, extend, touch. And you'll notice when I touch, I want to get that slight bend in the blade. And that's important because that will anchor your point, that will make sure you have sufficient pressure, that will make it easy for a director to see who has a touch. But you do not want to put excess pressure on the blade because that's when the blade can break, and that could be a problem. Okay? So there you go. So the first thing, just extend and touch. Now, take a step back. Extend and lunge. Recover. Extend, lunge. Recover. Take another step back. Now from this distance, I know I can't extend, I won't be able to hit my target, I can't lunge and hit the target, but I should be able to extend, advance, lunge. There you go. Alright? So these are good drills to help you get comfortable with your blade, to figure out your distance, because from this distance, I know I should be able to touch without moving my feet. And so if I'm fencing and I'm at this distance, I know moving my feet is probably not what I want to do. All right, I'm back here. I know I need to do a lunge if I want to touch. If I'm back here, I have to do an advance lunge. Okay, so this is a good drill to get comfortable with a number of things. Handling your blade, getting nice touches, getting the right distance from a fixed target. Because the next step from that is to pair up with a partner and do what we call distance drills, where one partner moves forward and you move back, or they move back and you move forward. And the whole idea is to keep that distance as they change their pace, their steps, and tempo. But if you get this down, you're ahead of the game. Thank you very much.